Howdy, y'all.
Hi, guys.
It's Ryan.
And Angela.
From RNA Music.
That's right.
Favorite mom and pop guitar shop and music lesson academy. Deep in the heart of Texas, which is where we Academy. And we are here to answer your questions with another episode of Ask RNA. We're going to do that right now.
Good.
So excited.
Yeah.
And sleepy. All right.
I'm tired.
Let's do this. All right. Well, if you are new here, welcome to our channel. We answer questions once a week from all over the world about various things. Sometimes it's guitars and gear. Sometimes it's about barbecue.
Or squirrels.
Or squirrels. Texas, sea life, coastal life, all kinds of things, whatever you guys want to ask within reason. So if you're new here, check it out. Hit the subscribe button, hit the little bell. You get notified of all our new videos. And if you're one of our longtime viewers who've been with us for 10 years.
Oh my goodness.
10 years of not Ask RNA, but 10 years of RNA Music YouTube.
I think it's like 9 years of Ask RNA.
Oh, I meant to say, like, this is episode 244. I could be wrong. I forgot. I was trying to remember the episodes. We've like 200, I think you're 100, this is 243.
Oh gosh. We missed
Episode number 243 of Ask RNA.
200th episode?
Yeah. We've been doing this a while. So there's about 243 episodes you can go back and watch us over the years, answer y'all's silly questions and serious questions. All right, so let's get to it today. Thank you guys for last week. Lots of views on last week's video. Yeah, and predominantly all very positive comments. There are a few people who are upset, I think, because they didn't get more fuel on the fire.
Y'all are turkeys.
But we answered the question that was asked.
Yeah.
Just because we didn't answer it the way other people wanted. What are you gonna do? All right.
Suck it.
That's what they're gonna do. All right. So first question this week, Kurgel Kreutzer, last minute question. He snuck this one in under the wire last night. Says this may seem a bit silly, but here it goes. Since you guys, at least Ryan, has lived on a ranch/farm, do you have any stories or incidents about cows being sneaky or evil? I have this sneaking suspicion that I've had for over 30 years that cows just put on a show to appear harmless and lovable. My best friend tried to convince me otherwise. I guess she is an expert because she has to take care of her sister's cows every other weekend. She even has pictures of those cows on her wall. Oh my gosh. I was not convinced and even said to her that they are probably just plotting something. Sadly, I was proved right, at least in this instance, since a bit later one of them decided to kick her in the face for no apparent reason. Oh my gosh, she sent me a picture of how they looked after the kick. Let's say it was not pretty. So there really is something strange about those cows. All right, we have a cattle question today. I did grow up on I always say a farm. It's not a farm because it didn't really grow crops. We had cows.
Yeah.
So I had about, an 80-acre ranch, I guess.
Yeah.
That I grew up on as a kid, about 12 miles outside of Canton. Now, Angela's dad was a foreman on a ranch.
On a ranch.
We had
cows. And we had cows.
So you have
tons of cows.
Experience with cows. Probably more cows than I had.
Yeah.
But so we got some cow questions.
Cows and horses.
Do I have any stories about cows being sneaky or evil? The only one that I can think of is of course I had to go. I would go and we had baby calves. We'd bottle feed them, and so I had to walk through the barn, which was I don't know, quarter of a mile away, carrying 5-gallon buckets in each hand as a kid, filled with because we weren't rich enough to have a 4-wheeler or a go-kart or something,
or
a golf cart to let's go down to the farm, let's go down to the barn and feed them cows. Or of course I wasn't big enough to drive a truck at 10 years old.
Right.
I mean, I did in the pasture, but not to the barn because I might crash it to a fence. But let's see. Anything? The only thing that really sticks out of my mind, because again, I was a kid. We moved into town and we sold the ranch, when I was probably an 8th grader.
Yeah.
So like 12, 13 years old is when we sold the farm and moved to town, the big city of Canton. But I remember one time, I think I was home alone, and it was like late at night. It was not late at night. It was dusk, 7:30, 8 o'clock. It was dark outside. I kept hearing noises in the yard. I'm like, what what's going on? So I go to our front door, because we had a door and then a glass door, and I open it up, and there was a cow standing like right there on the porch. I'm like, holy crap.
Holy cow.
Holy cow. I mean, one of the big ones. The big one's like, "Brrr." Just sit. I'm like, oh my God. And the cows were all in the yard, and, apparently they got out of the, they got through the fence. I'm like, what? And they were just hanging out in the front yard. Hey.
They're like, let's go to the place where that kid lives that feeds
I know
us.
that kid brings us salt licks and range cubes. Hey. I was like, oh my God. So I had to call I don't know where Mom and Dad were. They were somewhere, but it was just me at the house. I'm like, let me go get the rotary phone. Call the neighbors like, hey, our cows are out. But, nobody was assaulted by the cows.
Yeah.
So but that was the weirdest one. I'm like, they just hanging out, like, staring at me. Scared me though, because it was dark and there's a bunch of noise in the yard. I'm like, what's going on?
Yeah.
Oh, it's cows.
Yeah.
That's fine. If it had been, a herd of coyotes, that would have been a different story.
Yeah. Or pigs.
Or pigs.
Yeah.
Do you have any crazy cow stories?
I was sitting there thinking while you were talking, like, I remember like a couple of times, not that they were mean, they were just being very protective, because they are very protective of their babies. And we had this one young cow that it wasn't a calf per se, it was like an adolescent cow that would always come to our fence when we lived in the trailer on 19, and our trailer was like in this little indention of barbed wire fence, and then our trailer was like in the middle, and on the side, it was just barbed wire fence. And the stupid cow would always try to stick his head in and get the grass on the other side. And it had like it was getting like little new horns and stuff, because they were longhorns.
Oh yeah.
They were longhorn cows.
Longhorns.
And
in Texas.
And he got his head caught and wrapped around in the barbed wire and a foot through.
Oh gosh.
And so I was trying to get him free. Of course, we had the long gloves. Dad had work gloves, but they were really long gloves because of barbed wire, because you having to carry them on your arm, or whatever, the rings of barbed wire and stuff. Anyways, I went and got that. And as I was trying to get this dumb cow, and it was like the second or third time that he was, but this time it was really bad because it was on in his leg and around and in his ears, like it was really bad. So I'm sitting there trying to pry it apart, and I could see Mama, because they nurse for a long time, and if the cow allows them, they'll nurse for a while. So the Mama was off to the side, and every time I look up, she was closer. And it was like one of those like scary movies, and I can hear her breathing the closer. But what really scared me is that there was always a bull up on the hill that would always watch out for all the cows. Like he was like the dad, he was the head guy in charge, and he started coming over
the HBIC.
Yes.
The head bull in charge.
He was the head bull in charge. And so he came over the hill, and I thought, oh God, I think I'm going to have to get inside of the fence to get him out. And not only is Mom out there, but Dad's out there too, up on the hill. And this cow's just like, just like making these horrible noises. And I'm just like, oh dear God. And I was by myself at the house.
I was like, where was your dad?
He was it's like a 500 acre ranch. So he was probably, redistributing alligators on the other side of the whole entire acreage. And there was only like 3 hands that were always there. They hired guys, some men.
Seasonal workers.
Yes. Seasonal workers, we'll call them that.
Yeah.
That would come and they would just drive around every once in a while to check fence lines to make sure there weren't any dead cows or stuff like that around, because again, it was like, I don't even know how many acres. I'm saying 500, but I think it was more.
Probably more.
And so, but that scared me, because seriously, it was like she was probably at least 100 yards away from me, and then it was like she was running, and I'd stop and she'd stop, and I'd look at her, and then like before I got him free, she was right on top of us, like she was just right there. But I got him free, and I think she understood that I was trying to help him instead of hurt him, and of course, she gave him a few licks on his head, and I had to go inside because we didn't have cell phones.
Yeah.
So I had to go inside and call the ranch and say, Dad, there's a wounded calf out here. He got caught in the barbed wire. And
take him to the vet.
Take him to the vet, get him shots for tetanus and all that, all that stuff.
Stupid cow.
But that was really scary. Another time, my sisters and I, we would always walk the pasture because we would pick up dry cow patties and throw them at each other, and because they were like discs. Once they flattened
like
out,
a frisbee.
it's like a giant
dookie
frisbee.
You can play disc golf.
So we would just go out there and play and run around and lay in the grass because wherever cows poop was, the grass would be just beautiful green, lush.
It was amazing grass.
It was amazing grass. It really was. So we would just lay in the
well
grass.
fertilized.
But my sister and I were out there playing, and we were probably like 10 acres away from the house. And a cow was out there, and of course you don't think about them because you think they're sweet. And again, it was just like close, stop, closer, stop, closer, stop.
Like a weeping angel.
Yeah, it was just, they do that. They like to sneak up on you because I think they're trying to assess out the situation. Like, are you going to eat me? Are you one of those who takes us away?
I'm going to eat you eventually.
And one of us never comes back. Are you one of those? Or are you just, are you another calf? Are you a fox? Are you a bull? They don't really know
until me some food
until they get up close to you. But we had to get away because they will sneak up behind you and just bite the crap out of you. Because Dad had that happen a couple of times.
Oh man, he got bit?
Yeah, because he was trying to get the calf.
Cows are biters.
To get it, inoculated or whatever,
yeah.
and the mama cow reached around and bit the back of his leg.
Yeah, you don't want him to kick you though. That's a bad deal. So
I've had a horse bite me.
Yeah. There's our stories, Kurgle. We got some cow stories. Imagine that living in East Texas. We got some cow stories. Who would have thunk it?
Yeah. Oh.
All right.
Haven't thought about that in a long time. That was good.
Either.
That was memory lane. That was really good.
Oh man.
Okay.
Growing up on the farm. All right. Good one. Good question, Kurgle. Next question. Well, we kind of got 3 that are all in the same vein, which is nice. Mm-hmm. So this is going to help us knock out some questions. All right. We got David Munoz says, love your Ask Arne vids. Don't know why. Because we're awesome. I hope we can see more lessons/reviews from you with your own spin on them. KTMA. What was that Cabronita style guitar behind Angela? Also, Josh Myers band. Hey, Ryan and Angela. What is that red guitar to the far right? Telly with Filtertrons. And TJ Nugent. I like that Fiesta red Cabronita hanging on the wall behind you. I have a parts caster in black that I made out of Squire Cabronita and would love to buy Fiesta red Cabronita body for a reasonable price. Do you have a source for one other than Warmoth? Those bodies are expensive, but good. Thanks. Okay. So several questions about... I'm going to get up.
Okay.
All right. So we're talking about this bad boy. This has got the TV Jones pickups in it.
Basketball Jones.
What?
Basketball Jones.
Basketball Jones. So this is a custom guitar built by a friend of mine here in East Texas, Caleb Stroshine. Mm-hmm. This is hand-built by Caleb Stroshine on the back there. C. Stro Customs, right? So it's actually a friend of mine here in town had this custom made by Caleb, spec'd out. So it was bespoke, made to order for a friend of mine, and he apparently has too many guitars. Ken, how do you have too many? Ken's wife feels that Ken has too many guitars.
There you go.
That. Maybe. Or he doesn't have enough room. He has a different office. He has a new office now. He changed jobs. So his new office won't contain
the plethora.
The plethora of Ken's guitars. So this is one that he was willing to let go of. It is not cheap because it was a custom made to order, one-off guitar. And so he has it on consignment here with us because we're friends. We've known each other a long time. And this one gets a lot of questions. I believe it's, I can't remember if it's not polyester. It is the nitro. My brain is just like not all there today. It's a nitro finish, I think. And it's got the TV Jones, Filtertrons, I guess. We got a volume one knob, but it's got a volume and a tone. It's like a dual knob thing, 3-way switch. Yeah, I keep intending to do a video about it. I have not. I did restring it with fresh strings just the other day though, because like I need to do a video because people keep asking about it. So it's got some slight relicking done to it. Some of it done when Kayla built it. Some of it done by Ken when he played it. So yeah, there you go. That's what it is. This is a custom one-off kind of guitar. It's not a mass-produced whatever. So I think he wants $997 for this thing, which, you know, I think he paid quite a bit more, or he paid more than that for it. So,
right.
But yeah, it's available for $997 if you're interested. And because if it ends in a 7, it's a killer deal.
That's right.
We know that to be true. Now, as far as TJ Nugent, it might be Ted. I don't know. What do you think? Ted Nugent? Probably not.
That's awesome.
Reasonable price. Source for bodies? No, because we're not really in that business for bodies. But I know that they're out there because, you know, even going to like guitar shows like the Dallas International Guitar Festival or the Dallas Guitar Show, there's a booth that just has bodies, just stacks. Stacks and stacks and stacks of raw Tele bodies, Strat bodies, you know. So, yeah, I know they're out there. But I don't know, as far as like a cheap body for it, I don't know. That is the problem, as you said. Warmoth, the bodies are expensive, but good. Yeah. Anything that is good or great even is not going to be cheap. You don't get cheap and great.
Right.
Usually. You can have cheap and okay. It's okay and cheap, but not usually good or great, so... But yeah, there you go. That's what this bad boy is. Stay tuned. I will do a video hopefully soon. It's been ultimate chaos around here lately. Can you hang that for me, my dear? So there you go. Stay tuned. It's been ultimate chaos with us getting ready for our student recital that just happened.
Yes.
And then we have some other things happening this week. It's just been like... so much stuff going on. So
busy.
There you go. TJ Nugent, David Munoz, Josh Myers Band. All right. Moving on. Next question. A Walking Dead 1369. Since the Iron Man video from the recital posted today, just watched it. How far out do you start practicing with your students for the show? Awesome job, by the way.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks, Walking Dead. Yeah, we just last Sunday, which is... You know, today's Friday. So this past Sunday we had our student concert, student recital, and some videos are beginning to pop up. If you go back, for like the last couple of videos were recital videos, I think. Yeah. You go check those out. I have some more recital videos coming that I'm going to put out the next week. But again, we just had so much stuff going on. It's been crazy.
Right.
So one of them was Iron Man. We did with our students. How far out? Sometimes it's a couple of months, man.
Yeah, I think we really started around October because we knew it was going to start, and Ryan started teaching them little riffs and licks and stuff like that, and then we started building. Mine we started back in about October, I would say. You know, because whenever you have Thanksgiving break for the kids, sometimes they don't show up. And then Christmas break for the kids, and they also have their concerts at school and award ceremonies and field trips and all kinds of stuff. It just, a lot of times they miss. And then
sometimes they don't practice.
And sometimes they get sick and they don't practice. So we try to give them at least 3 solid months before... which would give them 12 lessons with us at least.
Because we only see them now once a week, so the student comes once a week for their lesson, and then for the other 6 days of the week, they're supposed to be at home practicing, working out their stuff.
Yeah.
And sometimes they're like, oh, you know, we had final exams this week, or I had a lot of homework, or we had, you know, basketball games,
family over because
something happened, and so like I didn't really practice this week. I'm like, well, we're going to practice right now in your lesson.
Yeah.
And this week you go home and make sure you practice this. Now, we do also have a lot of, the last couple of weeks leading up to the recitals when we start putting them together. Like for Iron Man, you know, I had a student playing bass and a student playing guitar. And then, you know, we had a former student who played drums. So she was an alumni who played drums. Well, you know, trying to get them all together in one room, because just sitting and playing along to the track is great. And that's what I tell them to do, is like, all right, I'll teach them to it. And I'm like, go home and practice this to the recording. Practice along with Black Sabbath as they play it.
Right.
You know, slow it down. You know, in YouTube, you can pull up a video and you can slow it down to like 0.85 or 0.7. You can mess with the speed.
Yeah,
the pitch stays the same, so they can, even if they can't play at full speed, like here, practice it at 3/4 speed along to the recording, so the timing is consistent. But then putting humans all together in a room and there is no recording to play to,
especially teenage humans.
Yes, especially young humans, and getting them. This is okay. You've played along to the track a bunch of times, but now we're going to play with a human drummer and other humans, and there's sometimes a push and pull and a, you know, with the rhythm and stuff, and getting it solid. So the couple of weeks leading up to, we'll try to start putting them together with the other students, with live vocals and all that kind of stuff. So about 3 months, that's about right. Because we want to give them enough time to do it to where they feel pretty confident.
Yeah.
But also allow for moments of like, oh, this week's been crazy. I didn't really practice. Like, you better practice. It's usually a sprint up to the end though, like practicing like, oh man, this is 2 weeks away. You gotta get this part down. Oh man, and then they really knuckle down in the last week and a half, 2 weeks or whatever.
Because then it comes down to whether or not they're even going to perform.
Yeah.
You know, it's just, okay, we have to cut this.
All right, we're not doing this.
We're not performing this recital. It happens, but yeah, we go pretty far back to try to get them prepared enough. So when it gets down to the wire, there really is no excuse other than they didn't practice.
They didn't put in the work, yeah.
So, but we try to get them as prepared as possible. Before it was, you know, well, let's figure something out. And, you know, because we were so focused on what the book was teaching that sometimes we didn't really get to the songs until the very last minute. And then some kids were like, well, can I play this? Or, you know, but now it's like, okay, we have to figure out this because we're getting more and more students who are able to play band songs. So we have to get them, and then get them, like Ryan said, get them all on the same page, get them all on the same practices.
Schedules. So we have to go further out before lesson recitals to get their practice in. I forgot what I was going to say. I was going to say something. Oh, yeah. I look at it like we have kids who are in choir at the public school and in band. It's like when you're in band and you're getting ready for, you know, UIL contests, it's like you'll play the same 3 or 4 songs for months. And even in the marching band, your marching shows, like we've been playing this for 4 months before you finally go to UIL contests or whatever. And concert band, same thing. It's like I tell them, like, the ones who are in choir and band, I'm like, all right, how long, when you get ready for a choir concert or a band concert at school, it's like, how long do y'all play the same songs? And they're like, oh man, a lot. I'm like, over and over. Hundreds and hundreds of times until it's like fantastic. Because that's what it takes. Yeah. Tons of repetition. So yeah. Thank you, Walking Dead. Stay tuned. We've got some more more videos from the recital concert coming up. Probably in the next few days. All right. Next question. Todd Bogley. Been a bit since I've commented or asked a question. So here's one or two. Angela. Have you seen the crocheted Falcor from the Neverending Story that's online? Ryan, would you ever try a baritone guitar for heavy tones? Heavy tones. 2020. Heavy tones. Have you seen the Falcor crochet version?
I think I have. I'm trying to picture it in my mind. But yeah, I think I have. I think I've seen a version. I might not have. I don't think it was a really good version of it.
You've seen a not awesome version.
But I have seen a version of it. I've been getting a lot of people tagging me and things that they find. Have you seen that what they can do? I'm like, yes, because I follow everybody who does crochet.
Yeah, because I'm already following all the crochet pages.
Like every single one. For it feels like it anyway. It's hundreds and hundreds of crochet pages. But yeah, it is so cool. The detail that people are able to get. I think my all-time favorite crocheted project that I have seen so far is the old man from the Disney Pixar movie Up.
Oh yeah.
And it has this walking stick with the tennis balls, and it's all crocheted. Like
What?
everything is crocheted on him. And it looks like a doll. I mean, but it's completely tight stitched. His nose, his wrinkles, his hair. And his hair is actually yarn that they've combed out and styled and sewn to. Like, it is the most amazing thing that I've ever seen in my life. But the Falcor, I would love to make Falcor. That was one of my... It freaked me out. The movie just to this day gives me like EBGBs, but... I love Falcor. Falcor was just the best. The Luck Dragon, you know.
I haven't watched that in a long time. I don't know if I want to again. Do we?
Yeah, we do.
I don't know.
We own both of them.
I can't
One and two. Yeah. So yes, I have seen it. I think it's amazing. I mean, I think it's amazing that people can actually crochet that. Yeah. It's pretty cool. I mean, I could if I sat down, but it would take a lot of time that I just don't have.
At the moment, yeah. Just to do it just for funsies.
Right, because I would have to charge like $1,000 for it. Seriously.
Yeah.
Stuff like that, if it's not like just a teddy bear or stuff, I've been charging way too cheap, and it takes me a lot of time and effort, and I can't charge cheap for something like that.
And if it takes you 7 hours to do something of labor, what is your time worth?
Right.
In a highly skilled
thing. 7 hours is not what it would take for me to do something like that.
It's not. It would take more.
Way more.
Oh yeah, but I'm just saying in general. That's why with pricing, it's like welders. Like not everybody can weld.
Right.
And not everybody can weld well. Mm-hmm. You have guys who are welders. They're not great, and then you have guys who are really good. And it's like, it's a specialized skill that took time to learn to do. It's like that's why they get paid more per hour than somebody saying, "Would you like fries with that?" Mm-hmm. So same thing with, crocheting something pretty amazing. It's like, hey, can you do this for like $15? No, because it's going to take me 15 hours. And even if your time is worth $10 an hour, which isn't exorbitant.
Yeah. It would probably, if I can think of how long it would take me to do a Falcor, especially the details, if you wanted to look just like Falcor, I would say 50 to 100 hours of crocheting to get it right.
To get it right. Amazing.
Because I'd have to unravel it and redo it and see if I could mimic it for each leg, his scale, like the texture of it, to make it look like he has scales, to make it with the wrinkles around his face and the shape of his nose and his mouth. And if you want his mouth open or do you want his mouth closed, there's so many different features.
Not a crappy Falcor.
No, like
I can make you a crappy one pretty easily.
I reached into the Never-Ending Story and brought him out and set it down on your desk. So that takes a lot of hours and time and thought and writing things down, and it's just a lot of work. Yeah. But yeah, I have seen it.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've seen the one you've seen.
That's the question.
But I have seen a version of it.
Thanks for the question, Todd. For Angela, now Todd's question for me: would I ever try a baritone guitar for heavy tones? Absolutely. Absolutely.
He sure would.
Yes, I would. I don't actually own a baritone guitar.
Oh yeah, you don't, do you?
Guess.
When I get my really nice ukulele that I want, maybe we can talk about.
I like the you could get PRS has got a couple of SE baritones. There was the Mike Mushak baritone that I know some guys who use those, and it would be pretty cool. I mean, right now I just tune down. I don't go much lower than like drop C or C standard, and you can do that on a regular guitar. Mm-hmm. Now, if I was going to go down to like B standard, you probably would want a baritone.
Yeah.
But if I come across a used one for a killer deal, I would probably pick one up. But I'm not currently in the market for one. Although we talked about last week, we talked about Jericho guitars, and they have a lot of baritone models that are like, oh, that'd be cool. But that's a brand new one. But personally, I would probably go snag a older PRS SE baritone model, because you can get those for good prices, Mm-hmm. And Schecter has some baritones back in their catalog. I don't know if they have a current
I don't
I
know.
think they do. I think they might have one, but
Yeah.
yeah, I would get one.
Cool.
It's not high up on the radar, but I would definitely
Yeah.
play one. But I can make it work with normal scale length guitars for as low as I want to go at the moment. But yeah, thanks for the question, Todd. Next question, Big Ugly 1911. I think this is Ryan.
Oh yeah.
This is Tristan's dad.
Oh okay.
I can't, when you don't put your real name, I'm like, I don't know who this is. But it says, anyways, hello y'all. This question is for both of you. If you could go back in time to your younger self and give yourself only one piece of advice, what would it be? This question is for both of you too. If you were a superhero, who would you be? I'm so excited for the recital today. Hashtag Hellraiser. So it's Ryan.
Okay.
That's one of our students, dads. Hi. Okay, we actually have answered this question before. I don't want to say Big Ugly 1911. I mean, it's your screen name, but we've answered this. I don't know, several months ago, but probably more than once.
Yeah.
I think mine would be, if I could go back in time to my younger self and give advice.
Yeah.
Only one piece of advice. Oh man. I was going to give myself multiple advice because I went to the trouble to time travel. I'm just going to go ahead and give them more than one.
I'm gonna have a book ready.
I'm going to here you go. Read this and do it, or I'm going to punch you in the face.
Yes.
First of all, would probably be get serious about taking care of yourself health-wise now. Like start eating right, start getting active and exercising now. Because when you get older, it's harder to break. It's harder to break 30 years of habits than it is to break 2 years of habits.
Right.
Also, don't blow money on stupid stuff, and start saving money and investing money, even if it's just a little bit. Start. Here's some financial advice. I would give myself some solid financial advice,
And
health and wellness advice, and go to Athens way sooner and meet Angela, and don't waste any time on any girl that's not Angela. Because this is the girl you're going to be with.
Yeah.
So go meet her sooner.
That would be very similar advice for me for Ryan. Don't date those losers. Go up to that guy that you saw in your junior year in high school. Go introduce yourself.
Yeah. Because it would have been. That would be great. That's the thing. Health and wellness, financial advice, and go meet Angela sooner, and don't date any of these other girls.
Yeah.
It's just a waste of time and emotion. So
yeah, pretty much.
Go to Athens. Go to an Athens high school football game when you're a senior or something, and just go stand.
Yeah, that would have been good timing. That would have saved me from a few really bad boyfriends. If you came your senior year, my sophomore year, and saved me from quite a few little jerks.
Mishaps.
Yeah.
And all I'd have to do is just walk by the band and drill team, and you would see me and be like, "Who is that guy?
Exactly.
Who's that guy down there?" That's the best advice I could give myself at that age. Is financial advice, health and wellness.
That's good. That's good.
Go meet Lala faster, sooner. What about you?
That was a lot of. It wasn't one piece of advice, but
that
was a lot of advice, which was great advice. It was good advice.
Yeah,
I'm glad you thought
I
of
need
those
to hear
things.
that.
Yeah. Probably along the same lines because I was very physically fit and healthy in high school.
I wasn't.
So I would have just said, keep dancing, keep doing what you love, and I probably would have convinced myself to, well, first of all, approach him instead of being like a scaredy cat, because I was very timid when it came to certain things, and I let my younger self, because I was just a very shy child, and certain things I allowed that little shy person to come up and keep me from doing things. I probably would say, be bold because you are very strong, and the world needs people like you to be strong, and because I would have saved myself a lot of early on trouble because I was so timid and I would never just speak my mind, believe it or not, at a certain age, even whenever I knew someone needed to say something, because I was just so scared of what people thought of me, and I would tell myself, stop doing that. Stop holding back because of fear. Because what you have to say isn't evil, it isn't mean, it isn't wrong. It is for the better. It's for the good, and it's to defend people and to, speak up for right. So I would give myself advice like, you have something to say it, type thing.
Don't hold back.
Don't hold back. Because even in because of that, I think I did go into like a sadness because I regretted so much that it did affect my health. And it did affect, certain things because I was like, man, I should have. And it spiraled into something deep. So if I would have had that courage, I probably would have kept on doing what I was doing in the first place. I probably would tell myself to go ahead and try out for the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders, because that's another big regret of mine, that I didn't follow through that process. I kept myself from doing it. I'm thankful for the people I met at TVCC, including him. But if I had that courage, I would have walked up to him and I would have kept going in the same route that I was actually supposed to go on. Mm-hmm. So that, and of course financial advice, and be smart with your money and don't let people manipulate you.
That's a good one.
And that you are worth the happiness that is about to be given to you. So don't let people make you think otherwise.
That's good.
Yeah.
And if you were a superhero, who would you be?
Oh gosh, the Hulk.
Yeah. We already know this. We already joke about this. She has some Hulk socks. Like multiple pairs of the Hulk socks.
We were laughing about this last night. That's why we got on that subject. Because I was talking to my friend Brenda last night, and I said, because we were talking about just being so angry, and I said, I'm going to let my black out. I said, oh my gosh, my black side is my Hulk side. Because I have two nationalities or whatever you want to say. Because I'm a human race. I don't have different races. Ethnicities inside of me. So I was like, the composed, not that the black people can't be composed, but you know what I'm saying. Don't go there. But I'm like, I have my composed like little side and my David Banner side. And then whenever people who's Caucasian, very nerdy, very subtle. And then I have my righteous indignation, just like, who do you think you are type side, and that's my black side.
You talking to me?
Are you kidding me? Like, and then when I let that go, it's just like, it's hard to rein her in. So I was like, I'm literally like actually Hulk. That makes more sense now that I verbalized it out loud like that. So yeah, totally Hulk for me.
Yeah. I don't have any idea really. I'm kind of leaning like Batman,
You're being a dork.
I know, I'm being a dork. It's Thor, of course.
Thor.
The only Viking superhero, really, that matters. The strongest Avenger. But more like comic book Thor, because apparently...
I think I'm the strongest Avenger.
No. It's not true. I just let you think that because I care about you.
Oh, that's sweet.
Yeah. Yes, I won easily.
But together,
we are unstoppable.
We're a force to be reckoned.
Oh man, Thor and Hulk fighting together. It's like it's over. Just turn off the movie. Honking people out there, honking their horns. Yeah, unstoppable pair. And I have some Thor socks and hammers.
And I have.
She has Hulk socks.
Y'all need to start sending me Hulk stuff. Ryan got all the Thor stuff. People keep on sending him Thor stuff. I think people need to start sending me Hulk.
I have a collection of Thor things.
Hulky things.
You want me to get you some
Hulk things? I would love to have like a collection of Hulk. Give me some...
Do you want
me a thing.
She-Hulk or Hulk?
Because honestly, everybody likes to go towards Wonder Woman. And don't get me wrong. I loved Wonder Woman. I love Linda Carter's Wonder Woman. And she's amazing because I like Linda Carter. Until I found out that she's really not a nice person.
I've heard that. As a person, Linda Carter herself is
not a nice person. But I really loved Robin Wright's character as the general, her aunt, the sister of the, I can't remember Princess Diana's mom's name. Yeah. But the general, she was a bad mamma jamma.
Yeah.
Like whenever they catapulted her up into the air and she had those 2 arrows and she was just like, whoa, until she got shot. But
yeah.
But she trained all of those women. Like she was the one who trained them, and I love that.
Yeah.
If I could find her as an action figure, I would have her.
That's the one you would get.
That's the superhero who I'd want to be, even though she didn't get enough screen time.
The general who trained Wonder Woman. Taught her who she was.
Yeah.
Well, there you go, man. Thanks for the question. Big Ugly 1911. I know you.
We know
I know who you are. All right, next question. Just Fun Guitar with the trifecta questions. New questions. Number 1, does Angela use any vocal effects units? And if so, which ones does she recommend? 2, have a 99-year-old grandma who's very ill now, but is the oldest person in... But who is the oldest person in your family? And 3, do you intend to breed your pets? So, number 1, does Angela use any vocal effects units?
No.
No.
I do not. And I don't know any to recommend because I've never used any vocal effects ever.
I've ordered some TC Electronic units for some friends because TC Electronic does have some like little floor pedals that you can step. It's like a guitar effects pedal, like guitar players, but it's for vocalists. And you can put on some reverb and all kinds of crazy stuff. I have ordered 1 or 2 of those units before, so TC Electronic does make that stuff.
Yeah.
She doesn't use it.
Does it sound like I'm using vocal effects? That's what I want to know. In the videos that you've listened to, does it sound like I'm using vocal effects? Is that where this goes? But no, I've never have used just straight microphone.
Yeah, I think you know, if you want something for like a special effect, like if you have a song that's got like that old radio kind of sound.
I love that.
As an effect, as an intro or something, I think that. But some people drown their vocals in reverb and delay.
Yeah, I don't
cover
like
up
that. The mistakes.
Problems.
No, I want you to hear the rawness and the realness of my voice. I don't like when people hide their voice too much because it turns into way too robotic. And I like I even honestly, I mean, not that I like pitchy people, but I like when people go a little flat and a little sharp in parts of the song because you can tell it's them.
They're human.
It's really them. And when it's too perfect, because it makes people think that they have to be perfect in order to get up on stage and sing. And that's given, especially younger people, an unrealistic expectation of vocals.
Yeah.
And so whenever you have someone get up there and their voice breaks a little or they go a little flat or a little sharp, have a little pitch to it, it shows how human they are and it makes it more real. And then whenever a younger person is listening to that, and they see the imperfections or they hear the imperfections in someone's voice, it encourages them a little bit more to step out in themselves because they're like, well, look, they're not perfect. And they're up there singing and they're enjoying themselves because honestly, it's about the enjoyment more than it's about the perfection.
Right. That's good. And we try to tell our students that, like when we do our concerts and our recitals, like, listen, you're going to make a mistake.
Yeah, you are.
It's fine. I make mistakes. I've seen, and you've all seen, big time musicians who they tour stadiums make mistakes. You've also seen them be freaking amazing.
Yeah.
And put on the best. Oh my God, that was the best thing I've ever seen. Then 3 shows later, man, he totally forgot the lyrics.
Right, because they're tired.
Yeah.
And they're
or like, oh, he started that song the wrong speed. And they had to start it over.
Repeated that verse. That verse doesn't go there. He started with verse 2 and it's really verse 1, or
Yeah,
or
so
you missed the intro.
You're gonna make mistakes. It happens. So we try to teach the kids that, like, we just move through it.
You just keep on going.
Yeah. Perfect example. I was like, we did the Iron Man thing. You go watch the video. I practiced the solo to that for like 2 weeks, just like every day,
straight up,
so I could play it
time.
with my eyes closed, like note for note, like the record. Right? There's I think a video on my Instagram or something where I played through it, or what are the stories? So like, I've been playing that solo note for note, like the record. And then, as soon as we play it at the recital, I completely go blank when I started. I'm like, oh crap, completely forgot it. So I just had to make it up.
Yeah, you did.
On the spot. Which is what Tony Iommi does. I didn't feel bad, because Tony Iommi, he doesn't play the same solo live that's on the record.
Right.
That's his song. He can do what he wants. He's Tony. But, if you're playing someone else's tune, you want to, whatever. But I'm like, just had to go with it. And, it worked out.
Yeah.
But you're going to have mistakes. It happens.
It happens.
So don't get too wrapped up and not even trying because you're afraid you'll make a mistake.
Yeah.
The experience is
It's
better.
the realness that people like.
Yeah.
It's the realness. So, yeah, no. I mean, that was a long answer for that, but no, I don't.
No.
Yeah. Who's the oldest person?
Question number 2. Oh, who's the oldest person?
Oh,
who's the oldest person in your family?
Right now, I think it's my dad.
Is it? Don't you have your northern aunts?
Oh yeah, my Aunt Kay. My Aunt Kay is 86.
Ah.
88.
Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah, she's the oldest out of my whole entire family, both sides. My dad's aunt was alive not too long ago. I think she passed a couple years ago, and she was right at 100.
Whoa.
Because it was Grandpa's oldest sister.
Your grandpa's older sister. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Your great aunt.
Yeah, my great aunt. I think she just passed away just recently, a few years ago, and but she reached 100.
That's pretty rad.
Yeah.
For me, it's I have a great aunt, Geneva.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I think it's my great aunt Geneva, my grandmother's sister.
Little sister.
Little sister. She's in her 90s. She's got to be 90s.
Yeah. Yeah, I think she's like early 90s, but 90s.
Yeah, she might be like 90, 91, 92-ish.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, my great aunt. I mean, we both
Watch
still
her
have...
be like, no, I'm only 78, Ryan.
I'm
God.
74. I'm like, no.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, I think you look 90.
I mean, she could be in their 80s. She could be 80s. I don't know. I'll ask Dad later.
Yeah, he was like, no, your Aunt Geneva's 57. I'm getting like younger and younger.
Well, a couple of years ago, her and EJ celebrated their 50th. No, was it their 60th?
I think it was their 60th wedding anniversary. Yeah, so they're
60th wedding anniversary. So she's late 80s, early 90s.
Yeah,
a great
something
aunt
like
of
that.
mine. So
She looks great though.
Yeah, we both still have both of our parents. My dad is 77. Yeah. 77. My dad is 78 this year. My mom is 72.
73.
73.
She will be 74 in March.
Yeah. My uncle is 78. My mom's brother is 78. Just had a birthday. Your dad is 72.
Yeah. We'll be 73 in March.
We'll be 73. And your mom is 47.
Yes. She'll love you for that. Yes. She's 47. She didn't have me when she was 5.
That's right. That doesn't sound right.
We're not that kind of family. No, she will
63?
be 64 in April.
64. Yeah. She doesn't look 64. Mm-mm. But yeah, there you go. So great aunts. Great aunts for the win.
Yeah.
How about that?
Both great aunts. There you go.
Aunt Kay and Aunt Geneva.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Awesome. All right, and then third question, just on guitar. Do you intend to breed your pets? No, our pets are still broken.
Yes. Yeah, we haven't fixed them yet.
They're not fixed, which is why do they call it
but
fixed?
They never leave the house really. So, and we live in town, but we haven't. No, but we're not going to breed them.
No, we have no intentions of breeding them.
Because we have a few that are really too old to do something like that with, and the only one we would be our German Shepherd mix.
Yeah,
that would be awesome to get a full-blood German Shepherd boy. We might need
we have the Shepherd Lab mix.
She's a beast of a dog.
She's like a giant white werewolf.
She does. Because she has this long neck, but she looks like a little lab in the face. But like from here back is all German Shepherd.
Yeah, she's a giant too.
But solid white.
She's a year old, so
yes,
like
right now she's
a year old. Mm-hmm. So maybe her, but we never really intended mm-hmm. or planned on, or the cats. I mean, the cats get out and come back, mm-hmm. preggers.
It is what it is.
It is what it is, but no, we haven't fixed any of our...
There's plenty... That's what's one thing about being in the country and cats, that if your cat does get pregnant, there's plenty of people who need cats.
Yeah, people like cats.
Unfortunately, the coyotes like cats in the country, too.
Coyotes also like cats.
So people are always in need of cats.
We always need more cats?
Yeah. So if your cat... if our cats do end up getting pregnant in any time, but...
Farm cats.
We'll have no problem,
finding
homes for the babies, but we don't tend to breed them. I don't necessarily think that's the right thing to do for animals because there's so many out on the streets right now. So, and you never know.
There's no shortage of animals.
Yeah, you never know who's going to get the babies and if they're going to take care of them or not. And I always hate that, putting that out there. So
yeah. Although our neighbor just had a litter of puppies, and when we drive past their yard, there's always little black and brown
Little lab babies.
Little lab babies just blah, 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 blah. We're like, oh my god.
I know there's like 10 or 15 of them. There's like a ton of them.
Romping around in the backyard. Every time we drive by,
we're like, slow down. It's a baby.
The last couple times we drove by, they weren't there. And I'm like, oh man.
I know, because it's just the cutest little thing.
Oh my gosh, yeah. So bad.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, thanks for the question. Just Fine Guitar. Next question, Spike Jones. Sup, Ryan and Angela. Do you guys ever have any students who just couldn't catch on? Or did you have any pupils who were so advanced they were beyond your ability to progress? Great question. The only ones that I could think of that didn't really catch on was because they didn't practice.
Yeah. Well, there's a couple of them that have learning disabilities that...
Yeah. But even the ones, like we have a couple who have, like, you know, some learning challenges. Mm-hmm. But they also don't practice.
Yeah.
So the one that I have, that I'm thinking of, he hasn't practiced. Mm-hmm. So yeah, he's got some ADD, ADHD, attention, you know, whatever, you know, hyperactive, whatever. It's like, that's fine. But I also have other kids with similar situations who when they practice, they do well.
Right.
So
but there's been a couple that I think have not caught it, and they get frustrated. I have one young man who's gotten frustrated. Of course, he's an older teenager, and I have to constantly encourage him because I think he thought that playing guitar was going to be a lot easier than it is. And so to tell him it is okay, you're actually doing a really good job. In his mind, he thinks he isn't catching on, but he really actually is doing a really good job for someone who's never picked up a guitar, doesn't know really anything or any instrument, doesn't have any kind of musical training, even in you know, elementary school type stuff. But I've had a few of those who think that they're not doing very well, but are actually doing very well. And that goes back to that effects comment, because so many times younger people, they compare themselves to TV kids, America's Got Talent kids. That's why I hate those reality shows. I cannot stand them. I will not watch them because they're extremely unrealistic. And they tell these sob stories of these children, and I'm sure they do have sob stories. I'm sure those kids have been bullied. I'm sure they come from broken homes and yada yada. But playing on that and that part of their imperfection versus this kid who you're talking about on television goes home and that's all they do. That's all they have. For hours and hours and hours and hours and hours. They do their schoolwork, and they might not be that great at school, but they're great at their gift because that's their outlet to help them heal. And they don't show that part of that. They never show that part of that kid spending 4 hours every single day, day in and day out on the piano, on the drums, and all that stuff. They're not in soccer, they're not in cheer, they're not in gymnastics, they're not doing all these interleagues, they're not in clubs, basketball. They're not in anything else. And but they dedicate themselves to and so whenever a lot of our kids or regular kids see that and they're like, oh, I want to play. They see the performance, they see that this kid is their age, and they're like, I want to do that. Mom and dad oblige because, you know, they're already in all these other things. So why not add music? And then they come here and they realize guitar, piano, drums, voice, ukulele takes work. It takes dedication. It takes a little pain,
big time investment.
And they go home, they go into their day and they go to their art, their piano, their gymnastics, their basketball practice, their football practice, and they try to squeeze in a little bit of guitar, just a little bit of piano, just a little bit and then they get frustrated. And then they don't progress as far along as they think that they're going to progress, and they get upset and then they quit because they're like, why can't I get this? Why can't I be like that kid on television? When they realize that kid isn't involved in anything else. That goes back to the next question. The ability, the kids who are beyond our abilities. Mm-hmm. I think of Brianna, our drummer. She didn't go beyond our abilities, but she did progress to a point where it kind of got boring for her because she didn't want to learn. I mean, there were tons of things that she could learn. There's a million things I
could teach her that she didn't know how to do.
But she didn't want to learn that kind of stuff. She just wanted to play heavy metal, Metallica, you know, Avenged Sevenfold and stuff like that, which is fine and it's great. Mm-hmm. But Brianna is an exception to the rule because Brianna is like those kids on television. Brianna, that's all she lived.
10 and a half years old
and breathed drums. That's all she did.
She
She
would
wasn't
go
in
home.
dance. She wasn't in gymnastics. She wasn't in any extracurricular activities at school.
She didn't do
She'd
basketball.
go beeline straight to her drum set, and she would just wail on it for hours. I mean, she might watch SpongeBob or something like that to relax and do her homework, but other than that, that girl was lived, breathed drum set. She was listening to drums. She was listening to music. She was listening. She was pouring it into herself, and that's the other swing of the pendulum. Kids have to understand these days. And if you have a kid at home who wants to be a musician, but you have them involved in all these other things, you have to understand that that kid is not going to excel.
Yeah.
In, I don't know, I was thinking the program.
Software.
I was like, that didn't make any sense there for a minute. Excel in that thing, they have to get rid of everything else because no one can multitask that well and be excellent in that one thing. If you think of any professional that you know, they are not involved in anything else other than the thing that they're excellent in. Whether it's cooking, whether it's whatever it is, that person who we all love, we could think of one person or many that we all love in that one thing. That's all they do. That's all they think about. That's all they watch. That's all they pour themselves into. And that can make a big difference on whether or not the kid excels or they stop doing it. And I think that hinges on the just doesn't catch on because it's a mind game for a lot of kids. They think, why can't I do this? Because they're doing it. Well, what are you doing that they aren't doing, or what are you not doing that they are doing?
Yeah.
And a lot of them won't assess that. They think they can juggle all these things, and then with their little toe that's the only guitar I practice, and I'm going to be on America's Got Talent next week. No, you're not.
I had this question yesterday. A lady called about her daughter signing up for guitar, piano, whatever. It's like, could she do both? I'm like,
no.
We don't recommend that. Because I said, and I told her, and she totally got it, understood. I was like, listen, if she's taking guitar lessons, we have the lesson, but then you also need to commit to, you're going to practice a minimum of 30 minutes a day, every day outside of the lesson. Right, and that's for guitar. So if you take a guitar lesson and a piano lesson, now you're telling me that your daughter or your granddaughter, she's going to do an hour. So she's going to do 30 minutes every single day of her guitar practice, and she's going to do 30 minutes a day of piano practice as well.
Right.
She's like, yeah, I can see that. I was like, honestly, we have a trouble with a lot of our students, just getting students to practice 30 minutes a day of just their one instrument.
Right, every day.
Because I only practiced 3 days this week or 2 days. Because I had blah, blah, blah. I'm like, well, okay, you're not going to progress, And like, she understood that, but I'm like, yeah, can you get your kid to practice 30 minutes a day consistently every single day just on one instrument? I mean, that'd be great. But if they won't do that, there's no way they're going to do that for another one. And then like, if you do voice too, it's like, okay, now you're looking at an hour and a half every single day. 30 minutes guitar, 30 minutes piano, 30 minutes voice. Yeah. Is your 13-year-old really going to do that? They don't even do their homework.
Right.
Well, yeah, that's right. Now, not to say that they can't, or that there isn't a person out there who will do that, because there are some kids, like Eddie Van Halen, or Stevie Ray Vaughan, or and these people who were
when they were young,
Aretha Franklin, who were super obsessed. And
Zach
all they
Wild.
did.
I mean, how old was he when he started playing with professionals?
He started playing with Ozzy when he was 19. He was 19 years old.
Right.
But those guys. And there are girls too, but it's like started playing guitar like 13 or 14, but played 8 hours a day for 4 years.
Kids look at like Taylor Swift and Justin Bieber and Britney Spears, like all these kids, adults now, they're in their almost 30s now, who started when they were kids, but that's all they did, day in and day out. And for the most part, the ones who can't catch on are the ones who went in with an unrealistic expectation. And because they couldn't get it the first time, they didn't go from 0 to Justin Bieber in a month, or zero to Zach Wild or Steve. It's like, are the ones who have so much going on and they want to just play when they come to us, and then they get upset with us for not.
Well, how come I can't play this?
Showing them or like walking away at an amazing person. It's like, it's not us. Because we have the same curriculum for everybody, and we have kids who are doing amazing and we have kids who are not. The kids who are doing amazing have poured themselves into their instrument. The kids who are not just pick it up whenever. They don't really have a schedule. They don't have a routine. They put video games and cartoons ahead of everything. They have, busy home lives already, and they haven't established that. And those are usually the ones who don't catch on.
Imagine being at school and you're on the football team, and you have one practice a week, and then you show up at the game. You think you're going to win?
Right.
You think that you're going to compete?
Yeah.
It's like, no, they have athletics every single day, and they have
days,
and they have after school.
Yeah.
I mean, they have a class every single day, and then they have after school practices, and then they have their game, and it's 5 days a week. Then we have the game,
and even then, some of them don't even win.
Right, of course, right. But for sure, you showed up and sit down and talk to the coach once for 30 minutes, and then show up at the game and think you're going to compete. Well, that's idiocy. Yeah. Obviously, you can see that. It's like same thing with learning an instrument. Like if you don't sit down and do the work, you're not going to get better. So think about the Zach Wild thing. So we've all heard the whole 10,000 hours to become a master at anything, and that's kind of, it hasn't been scientifically proven, but that's a concept. But so let's talk about Zach. For 4 years, from 14 to 19, that's 5 years. But in 4 years, if he played 8 hours a day, times 365 times 4, that's 11,680 hours. So between age 14 and 19, he played probably more than that because that's 5 years. Yeah, that's why he's amazing. But if you played, 2 hours a week for 4 years, you're not going to be playing with professionals. So it's a time commitment thing. As far as the ones that were beyond our ability to progress, no, I don't really feel like I've ever had that. I've had some who thought they were.
Oh my gosh, so many. Learn 3 chords,
G, C, E minor, D. I can play all these country songs. I'm like, great, but there's a lot more.
I've had voice students come in who obviously needed control of their pitch and their strength. And I tell them in one lesson, you have a pretty good voice. I mean, and I'm trying to tell them, if we continue on with this, you could be amazing. But because I said, you have a pretty good voice, and they sing, and I'm like, wow, that was actually really good. And they were like, well, I guess I don't need any voice lessons anymore. And literally never come back.
Yeah.
But I did tell them, well, you have to work on this and this and this.
We're trying to balance it with, let me compliment you, but now let me give you the correction. And, we need a little this.
Right. So from now on, I'm not going to compliment. I mean, I usually don't compliment vocal students, especially because vocal students in general have extremely big heads. So, already.
But singers are narcissistic? What are you
already. About? So going into it, I always usually have to go, I have to not tear them down, but break everything down to the very core of it and say, okay, this is what I heard. This is what we need to work on. Because then it gives them something I need to build. Not because I need them to stay, but because I want them to progress. I want them to get out of what they know that they can. Because a lot of times they will walk away. And they might get a gig. They might go and, get invited for something else. But honestly, it'll stop. They'll get to a point where no one really wants to hear them anymore. Or, their age changes, their body changes, all this stuff. And a lot of them won't know how to cope with that. And so, we've had people think that their ability is beyond our teaching.
But it wasn't.
But it wasn't. But it weren't.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
People. But that's okay. That's on them.
Hey, whatever.
We're always here.
There's always someone else who is like, hey, I need some help. Whatever you guys tell me to do.
Right.
Gotta change my battery. There you go. All right, next question. Big Johnson, #Hellraiser, who do you consider as the most underrated guitar player? My pick would be Vito Bratta from White Lion. Oh, man. I don't know. I'm trying to think of someone that people in general would consider underrated. Man, I really don't know. People have asked this before. I can't remember who I said or what I said. But
oh, goodness. I don't know. I don't know any guitar players that are like underrated, they don't get the props that
They
they
don't
deserve.
get the credit. Yeah, I guess so.
I know he kind of does, but honestly, I never really hear people talk about his amazing guitar skills unless we bring it up in Brad Paisley.
Oh, yeah.
Because people don't go like, have you heard Brad Paisley play? It's always his songs. Like, I don't hear about the guitar more than I hear about him just singing.
I hear guitar players talk about him.
Yeah.
But, you know.
But not like an overall in the world of guitar. He's not like.
He's pretty good. I mean, like, he's pretty good.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's a tough one. You don't.
I mean, I was saying like underrated, like
Yeah.
you know, like obscure underrated. But I think that it's
He probably deserves more credit than he's getting.
Yes, exactly. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, because people are like Zakk Wylde, Eddie Van Halen, and I'm like, he's pretty much. I've heard people. With a question a long time ago? Somebody compared him to like, who was the other guy? The Australian dude.
Oh, Keith Urban.
Keith Urban. I'm like, yeah, Keith Urban's no Brad Paisley.
Yeah.
They're all like, Keith Urban. I'm like,
I mean, popularity wise, yeah, I can
Sure.
see that they're on the same playing field. They're on the same field of popularity, but not of skill.
And they're like,
definitely not of talent, because I don't like Keith Urban's music like at all.
I don't either.
He was singing on. He did a special on. Where was he a judge on? American Idol. Was he an American Idol judge?
I don't know.
And someone showed, they were like, oh, this is such an amazing tribute, da-da-da. And like Keith Urban and like J-Lo and someone else, one of the other judges were singing. And J-Lo has an okay voice, but she's not like, oh my gosh, J-Lo has the most amazing voice ever. Have you heard J-Lo? No, she's just like just an average pop singer.
She's not a fantastic.
And so they were doing this song, I can't remember, it was either Hallelujah or something like that. And Keith Urban started singing, I was like...
Right?
Ner. He is not. No. I can name many other country artists, men, who are billion times better than Keith Urban.
Right. But he does his thing and he has his fans and that's fine.
It's just because he's pretty. That's the only reason why.
Well, I think
if his face looked like butter, he would not be that popular.
Right.
Well, I don't know. What's his name who married Lyle Lovett? Married Julia Roberts. He had butterface and everybody liked him.
He's a great personality. Well, no, I think because Keith Urban actually does play some guitar solos, and you have a lot of country. There's a lot of country bands where the guy's strumming an acoustic and singing, and he's got a band.
Yeah,
and he's got some hot shot Nashville studio guys who are just ripping it,
just amazing.
But like Garth Brooks isn't up there like ripping a sweet solo in the middle of his own song.
Right. No, he's more chugga chugga.
Keith Urban like plays the guitar and he's the singer and he'll whip out a tasty solo. I'm not saying he sucks.
No.
Right? He doesn't suck. And he plays some solos that are as good as any of some of these other rock guys. You're like, hey man, that's a good solo, Mm-hmm. But it's like he would be like maybe Slash kind of. And then Brad Paisley's like Jeff Loomis. It's like, yeah, Slash is a great solo player in this thing that he does. Technically, though, just pure technique-wise and precision, and Jeff Loomis is like on a whole other level.
Yeah.
He's like
an alien.
Yeah. So Brad Paisley to me is like, you're saying Slash sucks? I'm like, no, I think Slash is great, and I love what he does. But I think so and so has an even higher skill level.
Right. Which a lot of people do. And that's okay.
What's wrong with that? So,
yeah.
Anyways, maybe Keith Urban's underrated.
Yeah. It's like, for me, it's like, okay, I think vocally, let's compare it to the vocals.
Yeah.
I think Mariah Carey has a great voice. She does. She has an amazing voice. But she's no Barbra Streisand.
Well, right, sure.
She's no Celine Dion. Like, that constant power. Like, like, what? So there's like people that you're like, she's great. I can listen to her.
Yeah.
I don't listen to her all the time because it's more bubblegum. And she can't hit those notes, what she's known for, her whistle notes. But does she
has
have
a
like...
thing that she has one thing that she does that she's good at.
Yeah.
Versus like being super amazing at a bunch of things.
Yeah, but she was no Whitney Houston, and people try to put her in the same box as Whitney Houston. Nobody's in the same boat as Whitney Houston. Whitney Houston's not even in the same boat as Whitney Houston anymore, literally. Yeah. I mean, not because she's dead, but because even like at the end of her career, she was not at her A game. She couldn't even get to the point where Whitney Houston used to be.
Yeah.
So it's just that it's the same thing. Like they're talented, don't get us wrong, but
right.
Yeah, but underrated, I don't know.
Yeah, it's tough. I think because of social media nowadays, and there's so much out there. You have YouTube, you have Instagram, you have Facebook, you have all these things. It's like, I think everybody who's good at something has a fan base and has, like, it's pretty obvious to find out, oh man, have you seen this guy? You know, I think there's probably a truckload of not very well-known people. Like you just go on Instagram and YouTube, and there's like a truckload of guitar players. You're like, holy crap, this guy is amazing. I've never heard of him or seen him before until just now. Yeah. So, but as far as like famous people being underrated, man, I really don't know. It's hard to say. Yeah. Yeah. There you go. Thanks for the question, Big Johnson. Who do you guys think is supremely underrated? I thought of Jerry Cantrell from Alice in Chains. Because, like, you know, people think of their music as not being super complex, but it's great. But, you know, but he also has people who think he's amazing. So that's the thing. It's like, you know.
He does have his own people group.
Yeah, he has a pretty good fan base of guitar players. So, who do you guys think is underrated? Let us know below. All right, next question. Bubba Fang, do you both like Zombieland? We've just seen Zombieland Double Tap. I keep thinking of you, Ryan, with both movies having Metallica tunes to introduce the great zombie movies. Hashtag Hellraiser. I think we saw the first one, didn't we?
Yeah, the first one was funny.
Yeah, I haven't seen the second one.
Haven't yet.
We did see the first one, but I haven't seen it multiple times.
No, just once.
So I wouldn't say that I love it. It was okay. When I really like a movie, we'll watch it
many
a lot of times. Yeah. So, like, you know, Hot Fuzz, we've seen.
Oh gosh, I don't even know.
Multiple dozens of times, probably. Yeah, or Tombstone. Right. Like, how many times have we seen Tombstone? I mean, not lately.
Enough to quote it quite a bit.
Yeah, not in the last 5 years have we watched it.
Not in the last 10.
Last 10 years, but the previous 10 years we watched it all the time. Or The Princess Bride. Yeah. Like hundreds of times.
From the very beginning, I can quote it.
Star Wars.
I can hear it.
Hundreds of times, so. Yeah, is it on Netflix? Is Zombieland Double Tap on Netflix? If it's on Netflix, we might watch it sometime.
I don't know.
But
I don't know.
I thought the first one was funny, but
yeah,
it's
I like the Bill Murray scene. That was funny.
Yeah.
I like the parts where they were like, you know, lesson number one, you know, how to outrun and keep hydrated and all the little things. I like that aspect of it. It was pretty funny. And then of course Woody Harrelson's quest for the Twinkies. That was pretty funny too. But
I barely remember the plot line.
Yeah.
Don't get eaten. That was the plot.
Yeah, exactly.
Thanks for the question, Bubba Fang. Appreciate it. Next question. Jeremy, the surfing alien, with the ultimate controversial questions. It says, when will you be collaborating for another RNA limited CMG run of guitars? How good are the DevilCat amps? How do you guys think they compare to other brands you use? And what is distinctive about the DevilCat sound? I know this is very subjective. Maybe this can help to understand how good or different these amps are. Hashtag awesome RNA.
Yeah.
Well, I'm kind of in the brainstorming process of the next run of CMG RNA Music limited edition guitars, and 2 of them are already, you know, spoken for. So I already have a guy who wants number 1. He's already claimed it. Already have a guy who wants number 2. He's already claimed it. I may or may not get number 5. I don't know. But it's in the... I'll get the prototype. Let's do that. I don't know. It's in the planning stages.
Yeah.
So, and it kind of helps that I know that, you know, the gentleman who purchased number 1 of our first one, he's like, yeah, I want the next one. Whatever it is, I want it. And then our customer who got number 2 is like, yeah, whatever number 2 of this next one is, I want it. I'm like, okay. Yeah. So that kind of helps, you know, be like, all right, well, I know that we're going to be able to move these. So it's kind of, I'm kind of in the planning stages right now, and I'm down to deciding on the pickup configuration. I already know colors and build and spec and all that pretty much. So we'll announce it here. But I can tell you right now, number 1 and number 2 are already spoken for. So if you have thoughts about it,
3, 4, and 5.
3 and 4 are available.
Right.
And we
do
might
I get to design the new one? Do I get to do it this time?
You can design the next run.
I want to. Is it already this one already designed?
Pretty much. Pretty much. I haven't said anything publicly about it, but it's pretty much designed and configured.
Yeah.
But the next one, now I am considering it.
Well, then I want like the Bubba Blue. I want it to be like a la-la guitar, not a rah-rah guitar.
Okay. We can do that. We can make something happen. The Angela edition. So yeah, stay tuned. I'm thinking about, the last one we limited to only 5 made, and there's still people who want it. I'm like, sorry, there's only 5. And if I made another one, that I think that is sort of cheating the people who got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 that got it because it was an exclusive.
Maybe you do 10.
Yeah, we might. I think we might cap it at 10 for the second run, and because I do like the idea of it being an exclusive, limited thing. Like there's only 10 of them made. Right. That's one of the things I really love about my Washburn custom shop that I have. I have number 8 of 13. Number 8 of 13. And I know that in this world there are only 13 guitars like this, and I have number 8. So
yeah, well, it should be 10 since we've been open for 10 years.
That's brilliant. You're so smart. Okay, thanks. So we'll do 10 of the next one. We will do 10 of it.
You're welcome.
So there'll be a few more available to you find people who missed out on the run of the first one. But yeah.
Right.
Okay. How good are the DEVILCAT amplifiers? I think they're great. We have a Jimmy here in the shop, in the floor, showroom floor, that I really like. My favorite of the ones we've tried, because we've gotten the Mean Gene in, and I've played on their Mr. Terry. They have several different models. My personal favorite, and even though the Mean Gene, which is the ammo can looking one, it's supposedly the highest gain one they make, and we have videos on it. I still like the Jimmy the best, because something about the quality of the gain structure on the Jimmy, even though the Mean Gene, is it the Mean Gene? It's not the Mean Gene. Mean Gene is not high gain. What was the one? The Missy. The Missy. Okay. I'm getting my models confused. The Missy is the one we had. The Mean Gene is not an ammo can. But the Missy is the highest gain one they make. But something about the quality of the gain structure, I personally like the Jimmy better. But that's just me. What to compare it to, it's kind of tough. Like the Mean Gene is a very, classic F style, like more country and blues based guitar players would really like a Mean Gene or a Mr. Terry. Very like hot rod-ish, DeVille kind of thing, which isn't necessarily my take or what I like, I like the Jimmy because it really reminds me of, it has like an F type clean channel.
Yeah.
Super clean, very sparkly, lovely, beautiful clean channel on the Jimmy, but the gain channel is very, it's reminiscent of my dual rec. It's got that kind of flavor and yumminess. So it's got a clean channel, which is probably superior to my Mesa clean channel, although it's great. But it's got the crunchiness too, and they're great. And for American-made amps, I think they're they're a fantastic price.
Right.
You know, they're not made in China price. Okay.
Right.
But so you got to kind of forget about that. People talk about like the MT-15, the PRS, Mark Tremonti. It's only like $700. I'm like, yeah, but you know, it's also made in China, and a lot of them have had problems. You know, whatever. But I think they're fantastic for American-made amps. I have a Jimmy Jr.
Oh yeah.
I actually personally own a Jimmy Jr. Now I picked it up secondhand somewhere. I was like, oh man, I'm gonna get that because it was a stupid deal, and I could just get it. The reason it was a super deal was because whoever had it before, I think, kind of mistreated it. Didn't do it right, and it had some issues.
Wrong.
They did it wrong, and there was a couple of things going on with it, but that I could fix. Like there was in the effects loop, one of the solder things had come undone, and so I was able to fix it. And then it's got something else going on, but I can send it back to DevilCat, and they're gonna go over and with a fine tooth comb and fix it up for me. So I do like my Jimmy Jr. that I have in my room. There you go. And next question. Mark Effects. Have you watched any of the hundreds of videos of Winter NAMM? If so, what new products spark your interest? Beer drinkers and hellraisers. ZZ Top. Or Motorhead. Let's see. I've watched a couple of videos from NAMM. Not a whole lot, just because
it really hasn't.
I haven't had.
Too busy.
Yeah, we've had so much going on. That was one of the tricks with having our student concert in January. It's like we've been super focused on our student concert recital and getting all the kids prepared and getting them ready to perform and all that stuff. And I haven't really had a chance to look too much at any of the NAMM stuff. I think I watched a couple of videos, but I can't remember. Now I can't even remember what they were. I know I watched a little bit of the Schecter video Tone King did, but I'm like, I already know all about Schecter stuff because I'm a dealer, so I knew what was coming. I'm trying to think of anything else. I keep hearing a bunch of stuff about Epiphone, how Epiphone, their new models, like they've really kind of gone the distance and upped the game on the Epiphone. So I've been meaning to watch the video about the Epiphone stuff, but I just haven't had a chance. I'm trying to think if anything really is. I watched Steve Vai's video. That I think it was, who was it? I don't know if it's Phil McKnight. No, it was Rick Beato. Rick Beato did a video with Steve Vai, and he has his talking about the Synergy amps that he has, which is like a module thing. Like the Synergy amp, just like the old Randall and Egnator, you had here's my little Fender module, and you plug it into the amp, and you've got a Fender circuit. Like, okay, here's a Marshall module, you plug it in, and you got a Marshall, and here's a Mesa Boogie, and here's a Soldano, like, which that's not necessarily new. That's been around, and they talked about it, and that even the Randall modules and the Egnator modules, you can use those and plug them into the Synergy amp.
Right.
I was like, I thought that was pretty cool. That was a pretty neat thing, and that kind of piqued my interest. Like, I actually watched that whole video. Like, and of course, I find Steve Vai an interesting guy. I don't necessarily am the biggest fan of his music, even though he's amazing. But I really like listening to him talk and share his experiences as a musician and the things he's learned. He's a really smart guy, and like he really has a lot of great things to share with the business and the industry and all that kind of stuff. Yes. I didn't say, "Hey Siri."
That was weird.
Anyways, so but the Steve Vai Synergy modules and the Synergy amps, I thought that was pretty interesting. That's the thing that kind of piqued my interest, I guess. That I can remember.
I think it was Synergy. I thought it's you.
Oh.
I think he thought you said.
Hey Synergy. Hey Siri.
There it goes.
Yeah, he probably thought I said Siri.
I'm listening.
Okay.
That's creepy.
Yeah. Stop listening. All right. There you go. And final question, because, man, we got to wrap it up.
We got to wrap it up.
It's been crazy. Music and more. When is y'all's song coming out?
Whose song?
Whose song? Whose song are you talking about?
It's Paul's song.
Probably my song with Paul, the bitter bass man. As far as I know, it's being mixed right now. Paul's nephew is actually like a professional music guy. Like he goes, like he
sound
did
engineer.
Sound engineer. That's right. Now live sound
Yes.
is what he does a lot of. Like he was
Concert
on tour,
sound.
like on tour. Katy Perry. I think he was running the lights for Katy Perry when they came to town, and he did Mastodon. When Mastodon, I was so mad. Paul texted me. He's like, "Hey, do you know Mastodon?" I'm like, "Well, not personally, Paul, but you know, I mean, Brent Hinds did share a picture of me on his Instagram because my buddy Adam took a picture of me and put the little face tattoo on it because my hair was longer at the time, and it's like I guess
shorter kind of beard. Y'all
shorter
look like
beard.
Vikings.
Yeah. I look very similar with the bad Photoshop face tattoo. Apparently, Brent Hinds saw it and thought it was funny, and he reshared it. But I was like, no, not personally. He's like, okay, well, I'm here. And he was at the show, like, backstage. I'm like, you son of a... Like, he doesn't even like Mastodon. Like, he's like, he didn't even know who they were. But his nephew was doing the stage monitor mix for Mastodon on tour. It's like, his nephew is, like, went to school to do sound production and all that stuff. And this is what he does professionally with bands that goes on tour. He's, you know, lighting, live sound, whatever. Anyway. So Paul's nephew is mixing all the tracks. I think he's almost done with mixing because there was like, I don't know, 31 tracks or something. So
something like that.
it's near completion of the mixing stage, and I guess he's gonna send it off to have it mastered somewhere.
Cool.
So we thought we would have it by the end of January. That was the plan, was to release it in January. I think we're gonna miss that deadline, but it is super close and progress is coming. So probably in February, because I think the mixing is nearly done. He's just finalizing the mix, and then we'll send it off to get mastered, and then we'll release it. It'll be on iTunes and Spotify and like all the whatever streaming places, and you can buy it.
Yeah.
And that'd be awesome for 99 cents. I mean, you know,
Yo.
it's a deal.
Yes, it is.
It's basically free for 99 cents. I guess not. I don't know if it's $1.29.
No.
I should probably stop saying it because I don't know. Sometimes stuff is 99 cents. Sometimes it's $1.29 on iTunes.
Yeah. Who knows?
It'll be one of those two things, I guess.
One of the
So,
things.
but stay tuned. We'll definitely have announcements here. So hit the bell icon if you're a subscriber, and you'll get notified. And when it is up and out, you will see it on our YouTube.
Yep.
And on Facebook and all those great places. So, and now, when is my song coming out? I don't know. I have a lot of work to do to finish recording some of my songs.
Yes, you do.
So, hopefully in 2020.
2020.
All right. Thank you guys so much. That is it for this week. So many questions. We're trying to get stuff done.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my gosh. So we may have to start putting a limit on our how many questions?
Top 10 questions for 10 years.
Maybe. Yeah. Maybe we'll just answer 5 questions a week. Because that could still take 50
But you have to be the first
minutes.
5. You
The
have to be
first
the
5.
First 5.
Oh. First 5 get answered, maybe.
So that means you have to have the notification.
Yeah. You want to get that, click that notification so you can get in for the first 5 questions. Because 10 minutes a question, that's still 50 minutes. This last week it was an hour and 20 minutes. This week I don't even know.
Oh my lord.
But it's a lot. So, all right. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you watch this whole thing from the beginning to end,
Yes.
we got a secret hashtag that you'll put it in with your comment and your question. We'll know that you watched the whole thing. Just a little trick so we can kind of know. I mean, I can go into the analytics and see where people watched it. Like last week, I can see that, oh, somebody watched at the beginning and it kind of went like this. And then later on in the video, there was a big spike on this one question. So I know there are a lot of people who can't go last week's video just for one question out of like 12 questions. Whatever. You know, but if you actually watch the whole stinking video, all right, secret hashtag, and you guys will know which one of y'all's watched the whole thing. And that is hashtag Falcor. What? Type hashtag Falcor.
Turn around.
And we'll know that you watched the whole video, and, and we appreciate you. And you are legendary if you do that. So thank you so much. And please, ask your question for next week. We might only pick the first 5 that are, good.
Yes.
Well, I mean, like inappropriate questions we don't answer. So those inappropriate ones don't count. But, the first 5 appropriate questions we will probably do next week because we may have to just start streamlining this thing. So,
yeah.
Thank you guys so much. Until the next video, keep the music alive.
Don't forget it.
Music needs you.
And you need the music.
And we need to keep it alive for the next generation.
Yes.
So excited.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. There's trucks. There's a road right next to the shop, y'all. So
yeah, that's
you got cars driving through. I'm like, yeah, literally right there is a stop sign and a highway.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, not even like 20 yards away.
Yeah, super close.
Super close.
All right, thank you guys so much. We'll see y'all next time. Bye.
Bye. Guess we need to make a stipulation like first 5 people who ask a question, not first 5 questions, because just for Fun Guitar asked 3 questions. Well, that means only 2.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's the first 5 people who ask the question.
First 5 people. What if somebody asks, I want to ask 5 questions?
Exactly. So then it won't be fair to everybody else.
Yeah, but it wouldn't be fair to answer their 5 questions and then 4 more people, because that could be still end up with like 15 questions.
Yeah.
5 people.
That's true.
Limit it to 1 question per person.
Limit 1 question per person.
There we go.
5 people, 1 question each.
There you go. So excited.